Hi, Mr. Minnick here, helping students learn an ACSL topic called Prefix, Postfix, Infix, and here are some sample exercises. I have a guide for this somewhere on my website if you can find it. Email me if you can't and all that, but let's take a look at these few questions. Number one, this is Infix, which we just call normal math, where your operators, like a plus sign, is in between the two operands that binary operator acts upon. But for reasons I don't want to get into, computer scientists sometimes like to see things as postfix or prefix. And question number one, we have to convert this to postfix. So you have to have a very good understanding of the order of operations. What would you do first here according to the order of operations in normal infix, normal math? Rocky, what's done first according to, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally and all that? Correct, 5 times 8. So maybe you want to go through this and parenthesize it. I don't even know if that's a word, but maybe you want to do this problem in a nice, dependable way and get the right answer. You go through, put parentheses there, maybe you put a set of parentheses there where you really don't need them, but maybe you do this anyway. Then next you would do this plus, because it's done from left to right, tie with the subtraction. So there's a set of parentheses there. Then next would be this inner parenthesis subtraction that's sort of like hid. Then finally you do that last minus, which I'm not putting a set of parentheses around the whole thing. So because there is a non-arbitrary way, an agreed upon set of order of operations that all algebra students must do to get this correct, that helps us convert this to either prefix or postfix. So let's find that first set of parentheses. It was the inner set 5, 8. Now the 5 is to the left of the 8, and that matters in some worlds of math. Did you know that on Mars, addition is not commutative? 2 plus 3 is not the same thing as 3 plus 2. It just isn't. Those Martians are different than us. Well, in the world of computer science with hardware involved, sometimes the right diode takes a different level of current than, say, the left diode. And I'm making this up, but you can understand. Sometimes you have a neutral, a ground, and sometimes you have a hot, a positive. And you'll fry the circuit board if you don't do it right, if you don't solder it together right, or you plug it in backwards. So order matters. So 5, 8 star needs to be written here in my scratch work, and because right now we're doing postfix, let's put the star, the operator, after the two operands. Next, according to order of operations, it was that plus. No, it was this 6 divided by 2. So over here with a little gap, because I sense I'll need the gap, 6 divided by 2 is represented this way to a computer in a postfix. And then the next step was 4 plus, but it was 4 plus whatever the result of 5, 8 star was. So the 4 goes here, and the plus that joins the 4 and the 5, 8 star together would go here. It's good I left that space. So I left that big gap there. That was smart, because you can't just tack that plus out at the end. That totally violates the conversion, the accurate conversion of this infix to the desired postfix. Okay, my next step here in the original set of parentheses was to do the minus that's in between the 4, 5, 8 and the 6, 2. So a minus goes out here, and it bungees next to, I guess, the two things that it's subtracting. So this gap is no longer needed, because really think of this as one big packed pair of operands that the minus is sort of tying itself to. Well, that's good, because we're down to one more operation that we didn't do yet, and that's the minus 7 at the tail end. So it's all this minus 7. Hey, subtraction is not commutative. So you can't put a 7 out front, because like 7 minus 3 is different from 3 minus 7. So the 7 better go over here. And the minus, this minus right here now, goes out at the tail end. I just randomly made an underscore there for no reason. Sorry about that. So my final answer, carefully placed in the answer area of, say, the ACSL contest exam or this particular worksheet, is represented this way. Now, if you're really good or just good at this, you could check your work by converting postfix back to see if you get the original infix. Oh, that's what we're supposed to do in problem number 2. We're doing it the other way. So, oh, I gave you an answer I never intended to give you to number 1, but there it is. There's a free answer. Now let's do part of number 2, and then you can go back and check my answer to number 1 and make sure it's right. Number 2, we've got prefix, and we need to evaluate it. So in other words, you have to understand it, which in a way means that you would have to understand how to do the infix. So where do we have our first juicy operator, operand, operand? Anywhere that you can find operator, operator ends with an R, and 2 operands where the operator is pre the operand. Anywhere you can find that pattern, that's one spot you could start. There might be multiple starting points here. So I'm just going to scan from left to right because, you know, that's how I read English. Where do I have an operator followed by 2 operands? Basically, a symbol followed by 2 single digits. They always give us single digits in these problems. They never give us numbers like 11 or 12. And heaven knows they wouldn't give us like 999. I mean, there are ways to handle that, but not on the ACSL contest. So right here, /62, that simplifies to 6 divided by 2. So I'm going to put a nice little tidy 3 in there. Hey, 1, 2, no, I almost did postfix by accident. /82, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so that changes to a 4. And one more, upward arrow 3, 2, that means 3 raised to the second power, also known as 3 squared. So that simplifies to 9. Now, can we do like the 8-1? No, because there's no operator pre it, before it. So if you have to show this as steps, find a way to do this as steps so I know that you didn't just type it into some online calculator and cheat. Show me steps, and maybe you like show me like equal symbols lined up like good college professors, like maybe even high school teachers, I don't know, like you to show steps nicely and neat in the area provided. Or you could always open up a blank Notability document and like somehow attach it to this. Hey folks, I'm not going to finish number 2. This simplifies down to a number. There will be a number as your final answer for number 2. But let's do number 4 in this video as well. Let's start it out. Now number 4, we have to evaluate postfix. So I'm looking for a starting spot. I'm looking for that first handhold on the rock climbing wall. And I'm looking for a handhold of operand, operand, operator. Like 2 numbers followed by like a plus sign or some symbol. Now, I'm going to scan left to right, but it ends up not mattering where you find the necessary starting spot. So I found a spot where it says 39 plus. That is a good starting spot in this exercise. 3 plus 9 is 12, and I'm now going to carefully scribble that out. And now I'm looking for another spot. Hey Ryan, can you find another spot where I could simplify a postfix mini expression? Okay, from left to right, we have 212 star. Is 212 star the first 3 things that are currently in is that the pattern we're looking for? Is 212 star the pattern operand, operand, operator? Because that's the pattern we're looking for. Is 2 an operand? Ryan. Is 12 an operand? Is a star an operator? So how would you convert that postfix 212 star to normal infix that math students in like 3rd grade would know? How would it be written? 2 times 12, which is 24. Good. So I've now simplified that part of this overall working answer to 24. And I now have 24, 6 / 24 divided by 6 is 4. Good. That was like so easy. I'm left now with 4, 8, 2. Is 4, 8, 2, not to pick on you, but Ryan, since you're paying attention, is 4, 8, 2 the pattern I'm looking for? In other words, is 2 an operator? No. So I can't work out 4, 8, 2 right now. I'm going to rewrite it up here because I was sloppy. But where could I work next? Vashin, where's another spot? I have a little mini postfix expression to simplify. Yeah, but there was one before that. Let's kind of do it from left to right, even though it doesn't matter. 8, 2 / would be a good one to go to. 8, 2 / 8 divided by 2, 4. So I'm going to scribble the 8, 2 / out and put a 4 in place of it. And now I'll go to Vashin's original idea, 6, 4 plus. 6, 4 plus changes to 10. Now, true, that's a 2-digit number, but I'm just being careful to treat it as one single operand. And now I may as well do this whole problem. What the heck? 410 star is a 40. So right now I currently have, I'm sloppy with my pen, but it's 4 over here to the far left, 40, 5 / minus. 40 divided by 5 would be the next act. So I'm left with a 4, an 8, and a minus. What do you know? A -4. They actually have a negative answer on this worksheet. I have to accept that, but I bet you could find ways to check your work. Probably good luck with that. Hey, backing up to number 3. We're going from infix to prefix. So first, you got to think, what would I do in math first, according to PEMDAS, GEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, whatever. I would do the a squared first. An a squared in their notation with prefix would be represented as an upward arrow A2. So that's done. Next, according to order of operations, I would do like the inner b squared, but I pad it over here with a lot of space in between, and I would represent that way. That part turned into that. That part turned into that. Next, I would probably do the parentheses a minus b, and because this is prefix, I'd put the minus in front of the ab. So all that went down there. Hold on, Nathan. I would next square that. So I put the upward arrow in front of that term, which is the base, and the exponent 2 would be tucked in neatly there. So all that now is like in there. Okay, I just went off video and was corrected by a student, and he was right. Somebody named Andrew Zhao corrected me. I mean, Nathan Wong corrected me. Inside joke. You know, you should have done grouping symbols first, parentheses first overall, and then I should have done exponent operator over here. But the nature of this problem, in my experience, tells me as long as I leave padded space, it'll come out fine in the end. So I would probably give multiple correct scratch work okays to, I really only care about the final answer, and sometimes I do look at supporting scratch work, especially if you get it wrong. Okay, I'm almost done with this, and I don't want to finish it out because we only have a few more operations, and this is like the hard part that actually you have to think a little bit. So good luck with it, but I think this school year's students can do it. Number 5. Oh, this is tricky. When they give us the long fraction division bar, it acts as a grouping symbol whether you ever realized it or not. So number 5, I might get this one wrong because I don't have the answer key handy. I'm going to think this one out carefully. First, according to a math teacher, we would do that b plus c first. And this is a postfix, so it's bc plus. Next, we would do a squared. So the a squared would be over here, represented this way. Then we would multiply, because this long division bar is acting as like an unofficial set of parentheses right now where I'm drawing it. And that long division bar is kind of acting also as an unofficial but effective pair of parentheses there. And Rocky, let me point out that this long division bar here is really acting as if there's a set of parentheses there over the a plus b. Now, I don't like representing fractions vertically. It works in math class, but it never works in typed computer environments where things work on a line of code and you just can't do it that way. So be careful anytime they give you, or in life, in college, you see long division bars. Now I'm back to wherever I was, and I need to use multiplication between this and this. So I throw the star out here, postfix. And then you would do this division by AC, but we got to represent the AC over here. And all of that top numerator, see, N for numerator, is this right here is the N part. And denominator, I'll put a rectangle around that. That's the denominator part. And this middle division bar now goes here. So I just had to add that to divide the numerator by the denominator. Oh, there's more work to do, plus all this. Good luck with that. Oh, if you want to check your work, in any postfix answer, the rightmost thing that you have typed or written will always be an operator. Basically, the last guy that's done here, the last evaluation, would be that plus. So I know in the final answer that the plus is over there to the right. Tony just turned his worksheet in prematurely, and in number 5, if he doesn't have a plus to the far right, I'm just marking it wrong right away. And lucky for him, he has a plus. Sometimes I can grade these just by looking at one character. I can mark him wrong. Darn it, he didn't get it wrong, so now I have to do more work grading that one, which is good because he's my student. I want him to do well. Okay, have a great day.